What is criticism? Criticism is an acquired thinking, speaking, and writing skill, and it is a whole process of description, interpretation, and evaluation. The critical process is very important, regardless or not if writing or speaking plays a massive role in your career. And this skill will help you in all types of situations, such as news reports, advertising, entertaining programming, and even political debates and speeches at various levels of government. So in order to perform criticism, you need certain skills, attitude, and lexicon. Criticism functions to provide guidelines for later speaking and writing, but it also demands a certain attitude. The critic needs to be knowledgeable or have expertise, be able to communicate clearly and efficiently, be passionate about what he/she critiques, be able to tell us the non-obvious, and be able to educate listeners about a message. So the first stage of the critical process is description. It begins with a distinctive form of reading rhetorical acts that we call descriptive analysis. Other forms of reading include reading for content or entertainment, which can be important dimensions of rhetorical acts, but reading them analytically focuses attention on how they are intended to work in order to influence audiences. There's a lexicon essential to descriptive analysis, which include terms that provide a way of gaining entry into rhetorical acts by directing that attention to rhetorically significant elements. And elements of descriptive analysis are 1. Purpose, which is the conclusion argued or the thesis. 2. Audience, which are the receivers of a rhetorical act. 3. Persona, which are the roles adopted by the persuader in making the argument. 4. Tone, which is the reader's attitude towards the subject and towards the audience. 5. Evidence, which are the different kinds of support material for the argument or claims made in the rhetorical act. 6. Structure, the way the materials are organized to gain attention, develop a case, and provide emphasis. And 7. Strategies, the adaptation of all the above, including language, appeals, and argument, to shape the materials to overcome the challenges the reader faces. And so these 7 terms help guide the choices speakers and writers make as they prepare and deliver rhetorical acts. These terms are very much always present and almost always important in understanding how and why a rhetorical act succeeded or failed in its purpose. It provides a vocabulary for discussing rhetorical action and a method to identify what is distinctive about a particular persuasive effort. And there's also the critical equation, or CPA, which is claim, what do you see, plus proof, where do you see it, plus analysis, why is it there, which all equals up to criticism. So the stories in reading pop culture take a closer look at consumption and consumer habits, along with our relationship to products, retail stores, and new technologies. They also address the advertising and mass persuasion that continues to overwhelm our economy and society today. Being a critical consumer means understanding that consumption and advertising are largely inseparable, and it starts with learning the tactics used to appeal to consumers. For example, new technologies and social media today are continuing to shape consumption, branding, and buying habits. Apps like Snapchat and Venmo are prime examples of this, as Snapchat transitioned from a social media app used to share pictures, text, videos, to a marketing tool for brands looking to cater to hard-to-reach youth audience, whereas Venmo also contributes to our consumer habits by turning our financial transactions into more of like a social media. And there are plenty of manipulative and psychological tactics used to influence consumers, such as using certain language to sell items, and it's important to view advisors or advertisers' claims with precaution. Some may even argue that consumerism ultimately prevents capitalism, as producers in search of buyers must dumb down consumers and invent new needs. But as consumers become more sophisticated and aware of these techniques, so do marketers and advertisers. However, even as the advertising industry grows in size and influence, so do the legion of skeptics and detractors.